Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Hope you're having an amazing day today. Sometimes I feel like saying, hey guys, and then I think of like, what is it, the Goonies or something? I don't know. Anyways, just forget I said that. So today I'm going to do a video, kind of a story time. I kind of have fun doing them. This one's not so fun. And so I kind of have to, I've been wanting to do it, but I need to wait till I have a day where mentally I'm feeling pretty good. So that's today. And so I look really dewy, but it's really hot outside, and I just got home from work and looking outside at the clouds, there's like thunderstorm stuff coming. But anyways, there is going to be a video at the end of this. Oh my gosh. I almost said end of this giveaway. There's going to be a giveaway at the end of this video just because it's kind of a icky story, and so I thought that I would just give something away. So you'll have to watch to see what that is, and yeah, see how to enter. So, okay, so let's get started. So this story is about a murder that I witnessed. Now, I live in South Dakota, and there's not a whole lot of people here, and this type of stuff doesn't really happen here that often. I mean, it does happen sometimes, but not as much as other places, not even close to as much as other places. So that's what we're going to talk about. So, let's go back. It was September of 2009, I think. 9 or 10, maybe 2010. Anyways, so I'll just start out and just tell you guys what happened. So I live in a townhouse complex. There's a bunch of townhouses, and there's one porch every 2 doors. And so I shared a porch with this girl. She's from Sudan. She's Sudanese. She was super nice, going to school for criminal justice. She had 2 little girls that were super cute. And there was this guy that came over there often, and it was her boyfriend, but I believe he was like a 4th or 5th cousin or something like that, but he was also from Sudan. I never really talked to him, just seen his vehicle and seen him. So this was one September night. My son had been being a turd that night, so I made him come in early and go to bed early. And it was really nice out. School had started. I think it was like in the beginning of September somewhere. So that night, I had taken a shower, and I used to have a mirror like against the wall over here, like my window's right here, and then there was a mirror right there, and I would sit on the floor and do my makeup and my hair. Like, that's how I used to do it. Like, that's how my mom did it when I was younger, and so that's just kind of like what I did. So I feel like I'm really short. So I got out of the shower, I was wrapped in my towel, and I was sitting down in front of the floor. Logan, my son, was in his room going to bed, and I was blow drying my hair. So I had my window open because it was nice out, and so I'm blow drying my hair, just doing my thing, and I shut my blow dryer off, and I hear someone screaming. And it wasn't a screaming like, ah, it wasn't a screaming like that. It was like a blood-curdling scream, like something was really wrong. So I get up really quick, and I look out my window, and I see a guy like over here, girl over here, and him like running after her, and he had a gun and he was shooting. And so I was like, you've got to be kidding me. Like, my first thought was, this isn't real. This isn't real. And I was like, oh my gosh. And so I picked up the phone, and I called 911. And I remember thinking, like, maybe it was a toy gun. Like, I remember seeing the flash, from the end of the gun. And I remember thinking, maybe I'm just being dumb and maybe it wasn't real, but I knew. So I called 911, and I'm talking to the 911 operator, telling her what I saw, And she's like, is there anybody else? You know, is there anybody out there? Can you see anything? And I'm like, no, I can't see anything. And I did see somebody like across the way, like looking outside their front door. So anyways, I remember like putting her on speaker and getting dressed, and I was like freaking out. And Logan, my son, was like, Mom, what's happened? Mom, what's happened? I'm like, nothing, stay in your room, stay in your room. So I got dressed really quick. And I was going down the stairs, and I was like on the phone with the 911 operator, and I was like, do you want me to go outside and look? And she's like, only if you feel comfortable. And now when I think back about that, I'm like, why did she tell me that, you know, she should have said, no, stay inside, right? Like, wouldn't that be the right thing to do? But anyways, so I open up the door and I look outside, and like I have like one train vision, like I don't know, I just was like on one track, you know, kind of, if that makes sense, like tunnel vision basically. And so I went over to the neighbors next door because I looked out and I saw somebody laying on the front porch. And I said, there's a girl, she's, you know, she's down and she's on the floor, and there's a bunch of blood. And so I went over there, and back in 2008, I got my degree in licensed practical nursing. So I think it was kind of instinct for me too. And so I remember exactly what she was wearing. I remember what her face looked like. I remember how her sweater felt, because I felt her back, and then I felt for her pulse, and I didn't feel anything. And there was so much blood. It was, I mean, so much. So then I was banging on my neighbor's door. We were friends. I was banging on her door. She didn't open. Like, I was crying. I was just really upset. And so I knew that there was nothing I could do to save her. I mean, it had been a while. And there was just, I mean, she was face down, sort of. So then it hit me like, where's the guy? Where's the guy with the gun? Like, that didn't hit me until till then, you know. And so I went back towards my place, and her door was open, so I looked inside. And when I looked inside, their couch is against like this wall over here, like this way. And so when I looked inside, I looked over to my left, and he was sitting there, and there was blood on, I don't know how detailed I should get, but he had shot himself in the head. So then I'm thinking, okay, where's the killer? Like, where's the one who, you know, I didn't know if it was him or not. It was dark out, so it was hard to tell. I mean, it was a little bit after 8, and it started getting darker, you know. So I called, and I stayed on the phone with the lady. So I went back inside. I told her what I saw, and I told her that she had kids, like 2 little girls. I didn't know where they were, and but what ended up happening was a neighbor ran out and grabbed them and brought them into their place. So I remember asking, like, where are they? And my son was downstairs by this time, or had come downstairs, and he was like, Mom, what happened? And I said, oh, someone got shot in the foot with a BB gun. Like, I didn't want to tell him, you know, what had actually happened. And so I'm like hot, like my face is sweating. So anyways, I was like, where are they? I don't hear any sirens. I don't hear anything. She's like, they're there. Just, you know, just hold on. And so I was sitting in a chair that I had by my window downstairs by the blinds, and I peeked out, and there was like 5 policemen right there, like in my grass space. And they all turned their guns and their flashlights straight to me because they saw the movement. So I said, oh my gosh, they're pointing their guns at me. And she's like, get down, get down. So I got down, and anyways, a little bit later, I ended up getting off the phone with her. I don't remember when, but a little bit later, I think she told me that there would be policemen coming to my door, my back door, and that there would be an ambulance coming for me. And because, like, I was panicking, seriously. They just wanted to check me out. Like, I was freaking out. I mean, I already have anxiety issues. So they came and got us and ended up, let's see. We went outside. I went to the ambulance. They checked me out. We're all good. We kind of waited outside, like out on the road. And then we got to go back in, and ended up that my neighbor that was, you know, a friend of mine over here, she came over with her son. And so what had happened was she had banging on her door. That wasn't me. She had banging on her door from that girl trying to get help. And the guy that was shooting her shot a bullet through the door, and so then it went through the door and into the linoleum right inside the door of my friend's house. And that was when she was coming downstairs to answer the door. So she ran upstairs. Her and her son got underneath her bed, and yeah, so there was that. And then so she was inside, and I remember detectives came in, and we turned the Wii on for the kids. But detectives came in, asked what happened, blah, blah, blah. And, you know, I talked to my mom on the phone and, you know, just said what had happened and this and that. So Kelly didn't want to be there. Her name was Kelly, my neighbor. She didn't want to be there for the rest of the night. I think something fell. I think that they went to get a motel room, but my son and I stayed, and it was pretty late. We were laying in my bed watching TV, and I had him sleep with me, and I remember him falling asleep and me getting up and looking out the window. And so so they had a big fire truck. They had like a white, like coroner type vehicle, or like criminal investigation type vehicle. There was a big sheet up, and this was, I guess this was a little bit earlier when I looked out too, but there was so many people standing like back behind there. The news crews were out there, you could see, but they wouldn't let anybody past. Well, I'm in between both of them, so I could see everything like inside this. And so later on though, I looked outside. Well, no. Okay, so before that, we were downstairs, and I opened up my door, and I asked the detective to come here, and I said, is it okay if we go to bed? Like, do you need me for anything else? Because he had already gotten everything from us. And what it was basically a double suicide, if that's what they call it, a murder-suicide. There we go. He had shot her, and then he had shot himself. So there wasn't anybody else out there. It was the guy who I saw inside the townhouse. And so we ended up, let's see, going to bed, or trying to anyways, watching TV. And I remember it was like 2 o'clock in the morning, and I looked outside, and they had like these triangles with numbers on them, like where shell casings were, like in the grass. And I'm trying to think. I remember that, and I remember like talking to my stepdad and being like, I don't think I'm ever gonna get over this. Like, I'm never gonna get over this. And you know, like with everything that I had witnessed. And so we found out that they weren't able to move her body until like they were all done. And so then I remember waking up later on, and there was nobody out there. It was just all quiet. So the next day was outside talking to a couple neighbors, just kind of, you know, swapping stories about like what went on and all of that. And so the girls were with her parents. So I guess what it was is she had broken up with him. He left, went and got a gun, and came back, and that's when he did it. So I remember thinking, I am so glad that my door was locked, because it's horrible to say that, but my door was locked. So I wonder if she tried my door. I had my blow dryer on, so I don't know. But if she would have tried my door and came in, it's like if it had been unlocked, then he would have came in too. Ooh, I hear thunder. So that is always like something that I think about. And the weird thing is too, is that, so one of my neighbors down the other way, she had like 4 or 5 kids at her place, and the mom worked, I think, until like 10 or 11 at night. And usually they stayed out till that late, excuse me, that late playing. But that night, she had called from work about 7:30 and said, hey guys, you know, you need to go inside. It's time to go inside. And then my neighbor, my friend next door, her son was over at another neighbor's house, and they decided to go to Subway earlier because normally he would have been walking home at 8 o'clock. And literally, I think this happened like at 8:03. So it was just strange how there was no kids outside. I put my son to bed early. No kids were playing outside. It's just like a miracle, you know, that happened, because there's always kids playing outside. So I remember the news came while we were standing outside, and they interviewed me, and I was on TV, and I think that talking about it helped a little bit, but I also called my counselor, and I was like, I left a voicemail, and I told her what had happened on the voicemail. I said, is there any way I can come in and see you today? And so she called me back, and she's like, yes, come in and see me today. And she did this like debriefing thing. She said that they do it to military guys when they come back from like being overseas. And so it's supposed to help with PTSD, and so that it doesn't kick in or whatever, or so that you don't get it, or you don't get it as bad. So the next couple of days, my son and I stayed over at my boyfriend's house at the time. And then on a Saturday night, we came back, and my son was at his dad's, and so I was coming home all alone in the dark, and it was just really strange. And for the longest time, I could not open my back door at night when it was dark out, because that's the way that the police came and got us. So yeah, that's basically what happened. The more and more it got, the more and more time. Okay, so this is so strange, but I don't know if you've ever gone through anything traumatic like that, where you realize that something seems like it's right here, like you can visualize it so perfectly clear, and then the more and more time goes by, it moves to like the back of your head, and so you don't see it as clearly. It's more fuzzy. You don't remember it like it just happened. Is that the same for anybody else? Let me know. I'm trying to think if I missed any details, but yeah, there was news stories about her. She was a Sudanese beauty queen when she was in Sudan. A really great girl, and I think the kids live with their father now, from what I last heard. But I did end up staying in my townhouse. My neighbor ended up moving to a different one, like she couldn't do it. I was like, you know, I just ended up staying. I'm surprised, but that I was able to do that. So yeah, that's basically my story. I'm surprised I got through it. I could feel some anxiety like creeping in, because I don't like to talk about it. For the longest time after that, hearing anything like fireworks or something that like a car backfiring like scared me, and I couldn't watch certain movies. I couldn't watch certain TV shows. I still can't watch scary movies. Like I don't know, but it's weird because I listen to true crime. I don't know, maybe like I listen to it because of this, but anyways, I remember also thinking back, the next day, a girl came over with another girl to the place, 'cause she was staying with her, but she wasn't home that night, and her baby was there. And the police officers ended up finding the baby. He was fine upstairs and in a crib, and so the girl, like me and some other neighbors, were standing outside when they came the next day, and they went inside, and you could hear like screaming, like terrified. And I can't imagine what they saw, because the carpet was still in there. This, you know, the splatter on the walls was, I mean, they didn't clean anything up yet. So what they did end up doing when they cleaned it up, I found this out, is they took everything out the back, and I never saw any of it. So like the couch, everything, they completely redid the whole place. There's people that live there now. I don't know if they know what happened in there, but yeah, so pretty crazy story. And I mean, like, that's huge, something for me, because I mean, it's not something that happens here every day. And yeah, but anyways, I'm trying to think if I missed any details. I know this is probably a really slow video, and I'm like trying to think of everything. I should have written down a little story or something, but But yeah, I think that was about it. So that's my story time for today. So I'm gonna go ahead and do a little giveaway. And what I'm going to give away, this is just gonna be a little giveaway, is this Ipsy palette. It's the Tetris Ipsy palette. Let me go ahead and just open it up. If you watched my Ipsy video or any Ipsy videos, you probably saw it. So it's green like this. Has a mirror on it. Still yeah, I mean, it's brand new, so it still has the plastic on here, and here's what it looks like. Those colors. And then I'm also just gonna throw this in for the fun of it. This Kiehl's Ultra Facial Cream, brand new, never used. I have a couple of these, so I thought I would just throw this in. We're gonna do this giveaway 2 weeks from tonight. And so what you need to do to enter is leave me a comment, like my video, and make sure that you're subscribed. Also, if you could, when you leave me a comment, leave me a way to get a hold of you. I know that YouTube isn't doing a very good job at notifying people that they have a comment. So leave me like your email or your Instagram so that I can DM you, something like that. And yeah, that's what you need to do for that. And I don't know, let me know what you thought of the video. Like I said, it's probably really slow and, you know, whatever, but I got through it. Oh, one other thing is too, is that a friend took me to a inside gun range, and I was like, I hate guns. And so just being in there with the sound, made me like tear up and like almost hyperventilate. And this guy, this really nice guy there, I kind of told him, you know, I witnessed a murder, like guns are really, you know, not a good thing or not a good thought in my head, like just the sounds and everything. So he said, well, I will take you in the range. I will help you. Let's just do this. So it was kind of like a anxiety exposure therapy in a way, you know, if you've ever heard of that. So I did feel better, and I actually had fun shooting at the target, and I did a really good job. So yeah, so that's my story. But if you would like to, like I said, enter the giveaway, just go ahead and do that. And I think this video will go up tomorrow night. I do have a video to upload tonight, or maybe I'll switch them around. I don't know. So anyways, I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day or night, wherever you are. And I will see you in my next video. Bye.